everyone, I'm so excited to make this video and start documenting the journey of starting my lash business over in a brand new state. Me and my husband recently made the move from Kansas to Charleston, South Carolina. We left everything behind and I left my lash business of 5 going on 6 years behind, which is so sad. I still feel like I'm grieving that life and my clients. I just miss everything about it so much. But we just had always dreamed of living on the beach, having a very adventurous life, and to grow in new ways that our kind of comfortable, content life wasn't allowing us to. So after taking some time off since moving, and I've been working online some, I am finally ready to start my lash business again. I work in education too, so I wasn't sure if I would ever fully want to get back into taking clients full time, but I truly miss it so much, just getting to sit and talk with clients all day and forming that connection with them and just doing my little lashes all day. So I'm actually really excited, and that's why I wanted to document this journey, to just kind of take you guys through how it's been since moving, starting my business in a new state, just everything I've learned so far and kind of what my plans are for the future. I just wanted to share any and everything. So if you've ever thought about moving states, or if you also are starting a new lash business, maybe it could help you, the things that is working for me, what's not working, kind of just all the steps that I'm going through to start over. And yeah, so let's get into everything. So it's actually only been 17 days since I decided that I wanted to start my lash business over again here. So it really hasn't been that long, but I'm an all or nothing kind of gal. So when I decide I want something, I make it happen, like as soon as possible. So I have been like checking things off my to-do list. I wrote down everything so I don't forget to say anything, but I have gotten a lot done so far. But then again, it's only been 17 days, so this is very beginning stages of starting my lash business. So first and foremost, I had to transfer my aesthetics license over from Kansas to South Carolina. I actually started this process a month before moving, so I thought I was getting a super head start, like the process was gonna go so smooth and so easy, like I was on it. That could not be farther from the truth. It was the hardest challenge with moving. So I just filled out the application online, and South Carolina did not accept my transfer because in South Carolina you have to have an NIC examination. You have to take that test. So I was like, okay, you know, I've been an esthetician for going on 6 years. Like all I have to do is take the test and pass, and then I'll get my license transferred. Not that big of a deal, kind of annoying because I had to take a practical. I had to drive 3 hours to take a practical test, and then I had to take the theory too, which was in Charleston, so not as bad. But I feel like all over the Board of Cosmetology's websites and just like the information they provide, the websites are not user-friendly. They aren't clear about anything. So I did my due diligence and double checked with the Board of Cosmetology in South Carolina that certain sections were going to be involved in the practical exam because it was very confusing online. It had certain sections under additional, and I was like, okay, like is this included or is it actually additional? Like which test am I taking? So I emailed them. They were like, no, those additional sections are not going to be included in your practical exam. I was like, great, don't have to do, it was like microdermabrasion, eyelash enhancement, and one other thing. And so I was like, great. So I didn't practice for those parts. I didn't prep anything. Drove the 3 hours in a storm. It was storming, raining that day. And show up to my test. They're all kind of rude. I had so much anxiety. Like you're already so nervous because they're watching you like hawks throughout this practical exam. And so I just had, you know, of course I had like my venti shaken espresso that day. So I just had so much anxiety and had practiced this so much. And you know, you don't want to get anything wrong, especially me driving like 6 hours to take the test. So it comes around where I'm like, okay, like I feel so good about everything, and I start like packing up my stuff with the last section, and then they're like, okay, now it's time for the wax and now it's time for the microdermabrasion part. And I was like, excuse me, like they told me these additional sections were not going to be included in my test, like at all, very clear. And so I like get the person over and she's like, what? Like, we've never had this happen before. And they're like whispering like with the other instructors, watchers or whatever. And so they're like, okay, we're gonna have to escort you out of the premises. And I was like, what? Like, no, like I don't want to be, I'll just like sit and wait with my stuff until it's done. So she's like, no, okay, like get your stuff and we can escort you out. And they're like acting like this has literally never happened before. And I was like, no, like I need to talk to them, like, because you guys, whatever you are, like told me this wasn't going to be included. And I guess they were just the testing center, they weren't the board of cosmetology. So I go outside and I call the board of cosmetology and I get a hold of who I had talked to and who had told me that this was not included. And they were like, oh yeah, we messed up, like it was. And I just like lost it. Like it was still raining, still storming, and I like literally had a panic attack. It's not funny, but I could not breathe. And I was just like, so, you know, you practice and practice and practice and prepare and pack your kit and like you want everything to go so perfect. And you drive 3 hours and you're so nervous the entire time. And to know that I never even had a chance because I was told wrong instructions, like, was so disheartening. I was so mad. And Board of Cosmetology told me that you're actually going to get a 0 because they're going to put it as a walkout. I was like, wait, no, like I did not walk out. I said to them, I will stand here and like wait till it's done. And they like were like, no, you have, like, we're going to escort you out. And so to be told that I did all that work and I did my due diligence by double checking with the state board and they were wrong and they are what made me make a 0. Also, you have to pay to take these tests. Like, they aren't cheap. I think it's like $60 to $100 each, and I had to pay that for that, like, and I'm like, no, you guys owe me that money because you set me up for failure. Anyways, that is my event. It was just so frustrating, and I ended up taking the practical a few months later and I passed, and I also failed my theory the first time around too. And I passed the second time, but NIC exams are no joke. Like, please, like, overstudy. And I actually ended up paying a girl here for her to send me, I think she's like a school instructor. She sends you, she goes through all of the practical and the theory questions and kind of like prepares you. So I would definitely recommend that to anyone going into an NIC exam or South Carolina too. I feel like that's the only way I passed, is to have someone actually like teach me again, which is so crazy after being an esthetician for 6 years, like that I had to relearn all this, because it's not even real stuff. It's like, oh, you have to massage the face clockwise 3 times and then you can do the eyes. Like, it's so weird. It's so stupid that we have to do this to do lashes. Like, none of the questions on the test, practical or theory, were eyelash extensions. So it's just so crazy when like eyelash extensions has been my full career for 6 years and they don't even care to ask you questions on that, but you still need this license to do your job. Craziness. Anyways, got that after months and months of like failing and just annoyingness with the state board. But yeah, got that. So I got my license really back in, I think it was like August, September, and now we are here in January like 2nd. So now I'm actually 17 days in starting my lash business besides the license part. Things first is I got my LLC and EIN. That was a super easy online process. I actually wrote into ChatGPT, what do I need to do to start a lash business in Charleston, South Carolina? And they just gave me a checklist. And so I just went through that checklist too, as far as like the legal just general business stuff. So LLC and EIN. Then I also started a business credit card because I knew that I wanted to just not only organize and categorize, but get like cash back and get rewards on all the expenses of starting up a new business. So I wanted to put that on a credit card. So I went with the Chase Inc. Unlimited card. It has no annual fee. You have a sign-on bonus of $750. And you just get 1.5% back on everything. A lot of the other credit cards, you would get like 5% back on like internet, or 3 times points on online advertising, things like that. But I just wanted a simple 1.5 on everything. So it's just basically good for all expenses in general. So that's the one that I wanted to put on all my business expenses of starting up, which is a lot. I got my liability insurance with Beauty Body Work. That's the insurance that I've had in the past. I just had to like renew that one. I made my business cards on Canva and then printed them through Zazzle. I made the stupidest mistake and put a QR code on there that I had to pay for. I'm gonna have to reprint them through Zazzle and get a QR code that I can just make for free on Canva. So that was like my mess up. And then I went through all my lash inventory and just kind of cleaned it out, organized, and made a list and ordered everything that I needed to repurchase. I purchased all of my lash products from Lightheart, so I'll be getting a huge order from Lightheart soon that I can maybe go through. I opened up a business checking and savings account at a just local bank. It reactivated my Vigaro and it kind of gave all my services, descriptions, and everything kind of a refresh. We are not quite ready to own a home here yet, so I can't have my beautiful home lash studio built just yet. So I'm gonna have to rent. So I have been touring a few places around Charleston, and last week I finally decided on a place and signed my lease. It happens to be right on the ocean. I just can't believe that I got this space and have an oceanfront studio. Of course, signing a lease for a lot of money to me as someone who hasn't paid rent for the past few years because I've worked from home is so terrifying. It's so scary, and I have, you know, no clients. So just that big leap was so scary to me. I know I can do it, and it gives me kind of a fun challenge too. Like, hey, I have to pay my rent, so I need to get clients in. So we haven't started doing anything on it yet. So hoping to get in there soon. We've kind of taken some time off around the holidays. So I'm excited to actually get in there and start making it into my luxurious space. It is very, very bare bones right now, clean slate, just simple room. But the location is so stunning, right in the heart of downtown, right on the ocean. And since I got that location, I went ahead and added that location to my Google Maps and my Apple Maps. That is pretty much it so far. I have just been doing some Instagram and Facebook posts, just posting like lashes that I've done, but I honestly haven't gotten too much into marketing yet because I really can't book someone right now and have them come in. I opened up my schedule like next month because I'm hoping my lash studio will be done by then, but not doing too much marketing right now. Kind of just still making my Pinterest board for my lash studio, ordering things in, and I have this idea of how I want it to look. I'm kind of going for like the luxurious Pilates studio, but I don't know if it's gonna work, kind of what I'm envisioning. Really, I need my business cards in to go around, drop them places, start introducing myself. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for. But yeah, today is technically just day 17 of starting my lash business. So I can't wait to continue on this journey and really walk you guys through everything and bring you guys along every step of the way.